Hi everybody, so today's job is to replace my diesel filter because I don't know when it was last done. We're under the driver's seat obviously, and this is the air filter I'm going to remove from about there. I'll undo the clips, remove all this just so I can get at it, because actually my diesel filter's underneath this tube. Let's just move a bit closer. You'll see that's the top of where the filter sits, and it sits vertically. Let's go on the other side and I'm hoping you can see there the large cylinder, which is a filter, and there's a wire here. You can just see it there. That needs to be unclipped first because that's attached to the bottom of the filter, and we don't want to untwist the filter and ruin the wires. As you can see as well, I've already got a large black tub underneath to catch any diesel rather than spill it everywhere. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. That loosens the top off, and then there's a screw that I've already set down here, which has a 10mm head on it. And it only needs loosening enough to pop it off. Okay, so that's it. Put that out of the way. And now you can see we can access down here and see if there's a way to get a better view. Okay, so here's the wire we need to do. There's a little clip on the top. Well, it's the bottom from this orientation, and push and pull. That's it. Now that's underneath, out of the way. Now allegedly this filter should be roughly hand tight. You can see now why we've moved the air filter hose out of the way, because that's really quite an awkward little place to get at this. I'm not really that sure how easy it's going to be to get at it at all. Okay, so we need to get at the filter that's under here, vertically under there, and there's no easy way to do it from above or below, so you need a filter wrench. The best type is probably a wraparound one. You can either use something like this, but there's hardly any room to get in there, and what I use is one on a chain that will wrap around. But rather than the ones that hook onto like a wrench, this one is in a socket. Or you can use a large spanner, whatever's going to be easiest. So I want to use this on a socket. Now what I have found out as well is, let's just feed that down through there where it's going to sit, and make sure we don't trap the wire that sits in the bottom of the filter. Let's feed that through. Well, that can be expensive, if not annoying. And then get the chain up as far as we can to the top. It's not easy because it's a little bit thicker than a webbing type, which is what I had up until about half an hour ago. More to come on that later. Okay, what I have found out is that this oil filter, to unscrew it, you unscrew it clockwise. Okay, so in this case, it's righty-loosey. So I'm just gonna, let's take up the slack of the chain first. I hope you, it's a bit difficult to see it all down there, but I hope you can see it. So we've taken up the slack. And then you just want to hopefully, oh God, this does not want to budge. No. Okay. Let's get it off. Get it. It'll take longer, but this is real world mechanics, so let's go from there. Okay. So these two large nuts are 12mm. That's those removed. Now the whole item's loose. And as you can see, just these two pipes. 1, 2. And then I can take out the whole unit. So to do that, let's undo these clips and push them back. That's one. Two. Okay, so I've pushed back the clips on these hoses and gently tease them back. Now, I'm expecting some diesel here, so what I have done is I've got some of my drill bits and I plan to use them as a plug. Apologies about the camera movement. Bonus. Okay. Nothing really came out of that one. There's a little drip at the bottom. That's probably just what's in the filter. Let's try and keep it as upright as we can. We're catching any fuel from stopping on the road. Yep, we are. So let's try and get at that other one. Gently, gently. Nothing dripping out, but let's plug it anyway. And then lift up the whole thing. So here you can see where that wire goes. Okay. So I think what we'll do is, let's see if we can get this into the vise in my shed. I think it's going to be safest, and go from there. Okay, so I've brought the whole unit now into the shed. Excuse the mess. I work with organized chaos, and I'm just going to use a little bit of plus gas. And leave that for 5 minutes. I have no idea if it'll help, but at this point it can't do any harm. Okay, so I've left my plus gas in there for 5-10 minutes. Obviously what I don't want to do now is crush the filter in the vise. That's the natural thing to think of, but actually we'll put this housing, it's quite thick, you can see that, very thick. Let's get that into the vise. So I've put it using my big torque wrench, and near the bottom actually, because there are little notches, well, little flats that the chain should grab onto, and it should, yes. Okay, just watch that wire. Okay, we're starting to make a move now. Lovely. Lovely. Okay. Now we've got it to its hand tight. Hand loose might be the better term. So let's I don't know how long that filter's been on there. Keep it upright, there'll be diesel in it. I have a bucket for old oil and diesel here in the shed, so yeah, quite a bit of diesel. So let's unscrew the white water trap. There we go. Which has, you can see, a large rubber ring in it and a float. That's essentially what that is. So what I'm going to do now is set this to one side, give it a clean. You probably cannot see the muck in the bottom of that, but I can see muck. Right, okay, so I've given this a little bit of a clean, and I've checked the inside of the top. All looks beautiful to me, looking good, happy with that. So all we need then is that's the old filter, and then we've got a nice new Bosch. I hope you can see the numbers on it. I got this online. There's plenty of specialists out there that do this. Equipment for our bongos. So, new filter. And what else have we got in here? It comes with the Bosch. I presume it comes with other ones. Is a rubber ring. Doesn't say what to do with it, but I mean, there's an old rubber ring that seals on the bottom. We're given a new rubber ring. 1 + 1 must be 2. And to be fair, I'm sure I've read this on one of the forums that that's what it's for. So we just need to get rid of the old one. Using one of my QD pick tools, gently. Oh look, that just flips right up beautifully. If you haven't got a pick tool, a fairly blunt screwdriver will do your job. Don't mix up the old one and the new one. It's the old rubbish one, throw it away. Now, a lot of forums also say, just put a wee dab of oil. Let's put the ring on there first. Seem to say just a little dab of oil. Got a little bit of clean leftover motor oil here. Just put a wee drop. That is all we need, is a drop. Just to put a smear of it on both mating surfaces, the rubber O-rings. Apparently it'll make it just easier to get it off next time and help with the sealing. So, first things first, let's get the bottom wiring water trap thing on there. Get it hand tight. We've got our seal on, so let's just want to get it as tight as I physically can. Okay, back in the van, and I've made sure that my filter's nice and tight. So we're just going to drop it onto the 2 bolts. Let's just shift our pipes a little bit. You have to make sure you remember which is which as well of these 2 pipes, obviously. So the one coming from behind is going to go to this one, which is pointing towards the bottom of the engine. And the one that's coming from in front goes to this one nearest to the chassis rail here that you can see. Okay, so what we'll do, probably easiest before I do anything else, is let's take out my bung drill bits and make sure one goes on at a time whilst everything's loose. Pull that on, that's one, and then the forward one, from which I presume just goes straight to the pump at the front, goes on the nearest one to the chassis rail, slides on beautifully. Putting your, you can see straight on there where my 2 bolts are going to go, sorry, my 2 nuts. Let's put them on hand tight. Because then they're on there and I can't lose them. So essentially, that's it. Reach down for that wire, remember, bring it back up to hook on here. Should only fit one way, yeah. So just have a look at the little ribs on it and make sure you put it in the right way until it clicks. Yep, that clicked beautifully. And that's it. Just have to bring these clips back up, tighten these down, see if it starts. Okay, I'm led to believe that this is self-priming. So let's see if she starts for me. I heard the click of the solenoid there, so that's good. Glow plug light is off. Let's see what happens. First time. Now I just have to put back on the air filter housing, tighten that up, and we're done. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you can.